Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? So today I want to go over a couple different mobility drills you can do. In this case, we're going to cover shoulder capsule, shoulder girdle, opening up the pecs, and shoulder internal external rotation. I'm going to show a couple demos that you can use with either a thick band or a thinner band, as well as a couple of variations for some of these. Some of these you may be familiar with. If you're not, hopefully you find some benefit out of these, and bear with me with the noise. So first one I'm going to demo is going to open up the traps, specifically the mid traps, a little bit of the lats, and rear delt. I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to slide it inside this band, this thick green one, and I'm going to lace my hand around the band. So now band is on the insides of my palm. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my arm relax, right? So it's nice and straight, soft elbow. Left hand, if I can, I'm going to grab my bottom ribs on the right, just as a reference point. Now I'm going to step towards the camera with my right foot, as if I'm about to go into a lateral lunge. Now I'm going to lean hard into that position. Now my arm is straight. And at first I want to fight rotating into the band or the rack. Focus on my breath work, deep breath in through the nose for 5 seconds. Now big exhale through the bottom ribs. And as I exhale, I'm going to let my body naturally twist towards the tension of the band. Alternatively, as a variation, what you could do, I'm going to get into that same lunge position, but if I want to target more the traps predominantly, I'm actually going to grab this with both hands. I'm going to keep my hands low by my left hip. So I'm here, I'm going to step out, band comes towards the left hip. And as you can see, I have a pronated grip with my left hand and a supinated grip with the right. From here, I'm going to lunge into my right knee, let my arm straighten, and then same thing. Deep inhale. So that's from a lunge position. I also like to do this with my feet square as if I'm doing an RDL. So here, feet square with my hips, arms straight across the chest. I'm still facing forward. I'm going to hinge to right about here. Left hand is grabbing the right rib cage. And then if I want to go to that low position, alternating grip, down to the bottom hip. All right, so that would be how you target opening up mid traps, a little bit of lats, and that rear delt, opening up that shoulder capsule. Next one we're going to do is going to be specifically for the shoulder capsule, and we're going to cover shoulder internal rotation. So this is just going to be a static stretch. Take my hand, lace it through right in the inside. From here, I'm going to twist so that the band is now behind my palm, or behind my back, which is also behind my palm, if you can see that. So from here, I just want to step away from the band as much as I can. I can use a reference point here, which will make it more challenging. I'm just going to hold this for about 30 seconds. Now I'll switch sides, lace my hand with the band, step behind, pop. There we go. I'm just going to let my pec relax, let my wrist be pulled towards the rack. I want to maintain this upright position. So as you can see, and if I want to challenge this a little bit more, push my hips back. All right, so for this next one, we're going to open up our pecs with the open the doorway stretch, right? Very similar to this one if you've done body weight. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to load it with this thick green Rogue band. So I'm in this position. I'm going to step back. And I want to keep myself upright. This is going to open up my pecs, my shoulders, as well as force me into an iso hold in my shoulder external rotation, which on this particular shoulder, I've blown out this capsule twice. So this is much needed. As you inhale, feeling your chest rise. Big exhale, pulling those bottom ribs in. From the other side, what it's going to look like. Lacing around the shoulder like a backpack strap. Right there. Big step back. Pressure into the rack. And once you're upright, you can start your timer. Climb your hand up a little bit if you need to. So from a different angle, this is how we're going to use the green rogue band to target mid traps, lats, and the rear delt. Again, hand laces around the band. Arm goes across the chest. I'm going to take a lunge towards your direction. From here, I'm going to let my arm relax. And with each breath, I'm going to slowly sink into that lunge. And if I want to target more of the traps, I'm going to load it low by my left hip. Inside hand laced. Outside hand is going to start in a pronated grip, then slide up the band. The big step, out, pull, now hinge, now relax. Again, from a different angle, this is what it's going to look like if we want to work on the shoulder internal rotation with this medium red band. So hand laces through, behind the back, here, palm nice and relaxed, chest up. I'm going to walk far enough from the rack that I'm feeling enough resistance. Then from here, I'm just going to hold this position, focus on my breath work. And with each breath there, I want to feel like somebody's lightly pulling my wrist away from me. All righty, guys, so we're almost wrapped up. We're done with the band work. Now we're just going to work on opening up T-spine, lumbar spine, as well as getting our hips a little bit more loose. And we want to focus on improving our overhead shoulder extension. So now that we've done that with a little intervention with the bands, first thing I'm going to do is just a bar hang. I'll call this a passive bar hang in the sense that I'm intentionally keeping my feet on the ground here, right? I'm going to keep my feet behind my hips, the front of my hips, and I'm going to focus on my breath work. I recommend holds anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds, really as long as you can hold. But for this one, I'll demo for about 15 seconds. And what I'm focused on is with each breath, I'm just letting my hips sag a little bit lower. So there's the first variation. The reason why I like to start with my feet grounded behind my hips is if let's say I have chronically tight hip flexors and I jump up to a pull-up bar and you ask me to let my feet hang. Odds are they're not going to be hanging in an extended state. They're going to be hanging in a slightly flexed state because they are already slightly flexed. So by getting your toes behind you, as your spine relaxes and the tension in your body relaxes, right, your hips are going to start opening up into an extended state with your feet behind you. Not that there's anything wrong with an active bar hang, which I'm going to demo now, which would be my feet off the ground. Once I feel that my lumbar spine in particular has been opened up, now I should be good to go to get my foot or get my knee to 45 degrees flexion or 90 degrees flexion with whatever it is you're looking to do in an active bar hang state. Here. Still focusing on my breath work. There you go. If nothing else, I highly recommend adding these in. As much as I love the band work, These I've seen way more benefit over the course of my life, just with my shoulder injuries, my spinal injuries, and yeah, it's something that anybody can add in, right? Most people can find some way to have access to a pull-up bar, even if it's not a pull-up bar. Freaking grab a tree branch and hang from there, right? But I love doing some active and passive hangs post sessions, and some tools in the toolbox for those days where you're just really feeling locked up, and then that could lead to potentially not training, and we don't want that. So anyways, I hope these help. If they do, feel free to leave me a comment or a comment on any recommendations you'd like to see, whether it's on the strength side or the mobility side of your training. All right, have a good